Now look, there's nothing more important in all of sales than understanding customer needs. And on this episode of the 5-Minute Sales Training, we're going to look at understanding customer needs, understanding that important motivation. Welcome back to our 5-Minute Sales Training, where today we are all about understanding our customers' needs. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. If you're here every week, hit that like button if you don't mind. It helps us to get these lessons in front of even more salespeople. Hey, let's say someone is thinking about moving. Okay, now if you're a sales professional in the real estate business, no other question comes close to a level of importance than understanding why somebody is moving in the first place. In fact, everything that we learn about the customer stems from one question.
Why?
Why? Too many salespeople are hung up on what. They want to know what the customer is looking for. They want to know what is their price range and what is their time frame. Those are all things about what the customer is moving to. Good to know, not where you want to start. When it comes to understanding your customer's motivation, it's not about what the customer is moving to. It's about what the customer is moving from. This helps us to understand our customer's need. Why are they thinking about moving in the first place? Now, when you think about it, moving is not easy.
Hey! My pocket squares!
When someone wants to uproot their family and move to another town or city or state, there's a lot of trauma involved. There's the process of moving. There's the selling of their home, finding the new schools, communicating with the kids, trying to decide what we're going to buy and what we're going to compromise on. What do we do with the home that we have right now? And then let's not even get started in a conversation like, how difficult is it to pack your garage? Pack my garage? I'd rather have a root canal. Not just your garage, how about your entire home? When you think about it, selling a home and moving is a very difficult thing to do.
Change is good.
Yeah, but it's not easy.
So why would people do it? Because there's something so significantly wrong in their life that it has to be remedied. It has to be fixed. And somehow that fix involves uprooting their life and replanting it somewhere else. That issue is what fuels the customer's motivation.
Let's do this thing!
Now, each motivation is different for sure, but when you think about the motivation, about that motivating factor, your questioning skills have to get you to those deeper levels. It's the only way to truly understand the need that your customer has. Now, I say this because most customers do not walk through the door with their motivation laid out neatly for you to be fully identified. When I ask a customer, why are you thinking about moving? The first response is not the deep response. The first response is probably something like, well, we're renting right now. That's not their motivation. That's simply their living status. So we need to be prepared to go deeper on that and figure out what is really going on. Now, let me be clear. When we talk about understanding the customer's needs, we're trying to figure out why they are moving in the first place. What is motivating them to make this decision? But we want to make sure that it is a question that is easy to answer. See, too many salespeople think they're asking a motivation question when they ask, say, what brought you out today? That's not a motivation question. The motivation question has to get to the core of why they are moving in the first place. So my suggestion is that you keep this simple.
Breathe, focus, keep it simple.
When I ask the motivation question, it's very straightforward. So tell me why you're thinking about moving in the first place. That's it. I ask simply, I ask conversationally, but I tell you that in almost 100% of the cases, you're going to have to dive deeper. You're going to have to follow that up with some version of, tell me more. Now again, most customers do not elaborate on their motivation right out of the gate. Takes some digging, takes some probing, but it makes a huge difference when you start to understand the depth of the customer's needs. I might ask somebody, why are you thinking about moving? And they might simply say, well, we're renting right now. So now I can go deeper. I can say, tell me more. What is it about renting that's not working for you? And they might say, well, the place we're in right now is kind of loud. Oh, well, how so? That's another version of tell me more. How so? How is it loud? Well, we've got these kids. We're in an apartment and we've got these kids upstairs and they just run all the time. They're running, just pounding day and night. They're just constantly pounding on the floor. It's driving us absolutely crazy. Now, the key here is that you don't fully understand the motivation until you understand it on an emotional level, until you hear the customer share some of that frustration. So this week, I really want you to lean into that motivation question and the tell me more that comes behind it. Understanding the customer's needs is at the core of serving them. If you get this right, everything falls into place. If you get this wrong, it's going to be a short career. Hey, thanks for watching the 5-Minute Sales Training. And if you have not signed up for our Sales 365 app, you got to do that. Join the community over at sales365.io. We're turning top 10%ers into top 1%ers, and we want you to come along. Until next time, my friends, learn more to earn more.